Imagine a world with around 20% forest land and remaining 80% under human habitation. We need not actually imagine it, we are living in it. In such situation, if someone even cuts a tree in a forest or attacks a wild animal at the verge of extinction, it is a sin. What if the situation is exactly opposite to this? 80% of forest land inhabiting wild animals which time and again are entering the human habitation and killing people in the remaining 20% landmass. Is it fair to attack such animals? So, if we are judging Krishna Paramatma's act of burning the Pandava forest more than 5,000 years ago based on our climatic conditions, who's at fault? Lord Sri Krishna or us? Therefore they say, Mahabharata is not for you to judge. With this background, Jai Sriman Narayana, I am the Pauranika. Welcome to the once in a blue moon episode where rather than just translating the story of Mahabharata for you, I do a commentary on the current day misconceptions or controversies in relation to Mahabharata. In the name of Ma Lalita Tripura Sundari, I am narrating the Mahabharata of Sri Veda Vyasa as it is without altering or changing the story to suit my politics. So trust me to speak the truth. As we finished Adiparva in our first 50 episodes, our discussion in this episode will be restricted to only that part of the story. Let's get started. Kunti's sons, the ones she left and the ones she raised. What are the facts here? Kunti gave birth to Karna, kept him in a box and left him in the water on the advice of Surya Bhagavan, and he was picked up by Adiparva and Radha. From the time he got his memory, he was the son of Adiparva and Radha. Who's Adiparva? We covered it during Astra-Vidya Pradarshana episode 31. He was a charioteer in Kuru kingdom. If we stop it here and go by many interpretations of the famous movies and stories, what do we feel? A man who's supposed to be the prince has become a driver's son. How sad. But is it really that sorry state? Need not be. Why? We also learnt in Adiparva that Karna studied under Dronacharya along with the Pandavas and Kauravas. He studied along with the royals of Hastinapura and various other kingdoms. What does that mean? Adiparva is not just a commoner. He held such a prominent position in the kingdom where he could get his son educated under Dronacharya. Let's see the case of Pandavas now. Where were they born? In the forest of Mount Shatashrunga. Lived the life of commoners along with the sages. When Arjuna turned 14, they lost their father. Madri followed King Pandu in death and Kunti raised all the 5 children on her own. With her 5 sons, she arrived at Hastinapura. Till this point, what unfair had happened with Karna? A loving father, a doting mother, Prince Duryodhana as best friend and educated under Dronacharya. At the same time, what was Pandavas going through? Young boys, dead father, single mother, living under those people who were constantly trying to kill them. Let's pause here and discuss on Duryodhana's friendship with Karna. When did it actually start? Duryodhana kills Bhima's charioteer and he tries to kill Bhimasena too by feeding him poison and throwing him in Ganga. Who was a co-conspirator here? Karna. We covered it in our episode 28. If you are new to this channel, let me quote the exact sloka. Evam Duryodhanaha Karnaha Sekunaschapi Saubhalaha Anekairabhyupayasthan Jigam Samtasma Pandavan, which translates to, in this way, Duryodhana, Karna and Shakuni tried to kill Pandavas in many ways. This sloka comes after Duryodhana tries to kill Bhima and kills Bhima's Sarathi. At this point of time, the education under Kripacharya or Dronacharya did not start yet. So let's come out of the movie narratives of Duryodhana identifying Karna, a commoner from a lot, and raising him up to the post of Angaraja. Duryodhana knew Karna since he was a child. They grew up together. Now, the next stage. Education of Karna, Pandavas and Kauravas was completed under Dronacharya, and Astra Vidya Pradarshana was arranged for Kauravas and Pandavas. When Arjuna does great feats in the field, Karna too comes and does the same feats as Arjuna. No one stopped him at all. Then Karna challenges Arjuna for a duel. At this point, Krupacharya intervenes and asks Karna to introduce himself to the crowd. The public announcement of Karna's caste comes here. Kripacharya says Arjuna, being a prince, will not fight a person who is not a royal. For saying so, he had been accused of being a casteist, and in some movies it was also told that it was Dronacharya who actually called Karna ineligible to fight Arjuna as he was a Sutaputra. But let's see what has really happened there. Let's take a hypothetical situation. Karna was a Sutaputra from the weaker sections of the society and Arjuna was a prince. If Karna defeats Arjuna, hypothetically, in that duel, what would people say? The prince, who was supposed to be a protector of the kingdom, lost to a common man. They will lose faith on their king. If Arjuna defeats Karna, what would they say then? Oh, being a privileged brat, he is showing his might on a common man who was born in a lower caste. The fact that at this point Karna was as privileged as Arjuna, if not more, would not have mattered at all. So, Kripacharya blocking a prince from not fighting a commoner is completely logical but not casteist. However, Bhima calls Karna Sutaputra again and again after the coronation. Karna got offended. He has every right to get offended. It is unfair of Bhima to say so. But he is saying that to a man who tried to kill him on multiple instances. Still, that's not a justification. But is it just Bhima who insulted Karna's caste? There is actually someone else too. Guess who? Duryodhana. While praising Karna and defending him, Duryodhana actually says that how can a deer give birth to a lion and how can a Suta woman give birth to a warrior like Karna? Kadam aditya sadrisam mrugi vyagram janishyati. So in summary, while Bhima was wrong in calling Karna a Sutaputra, Duryodhana was no less. He did not spot Karna, who was a commoner out of a lot, and took him to the position of Angaraja. He actually picked his best friend and defended his case without even hesitating to offend his community. So this is the first instance where Karna was openly called out for his caste. Then the next stage. Yudhishthira becomes the crown prince to the kingdom, which is rightfully his. People of Hastinapura expected him to replace Dhritarashtra very soon, and Dhritarashtra then starts getting insecure about his position. Then Dhritarashtra discusses with Kanika on his course of action. For those who don't know Kanika, he is Chanakya Pro Max. If you are a person who is interested in politics and appreciates books like Prince or Arthashastra, you will love Kanika Niti. We covered it in episode 33, do check it out. Moving back to the story, after discussing with Kanika, Dhritarashtra decides to send Pandavas away to Varanavrata, and Duryodhana plans to kill them there in Lakshagraha. They escape from there and start living in Ekachakrapuram in the guise of Brahmanas, begging from the streets. By this point, I feel glad that Kunti left Karna as a child, as he escaped this suffering and living a comfortable life as Angaraja while his brothers were escaping death and literally begging on the streets of Ekachakra. Then comes that moment which was widely discussed and sometimes mindlessly criticized. Draupadi Swayamvaram. Again, facts. Drupada wanted his daughter to marry Arjuna. Period. Bharadwajasya hantaram devim chapyarjunasya vai lokastadvedayachaiva tadha yajena vaisrutam. By worshipping Yaja, I obtained a son who would kill Drona and a daughter who would marry Arjuna. Drupada says this and cries for the death of Pandavas as if he lost his own sons on hearing about the Lakshagriha. Why such fascination for Arjuna? Because when Karna, Pandavas and Kauravas came to Panchala to defeat Drupada and give his defeat as Gurudakshina to Drona, Drupada thoroughly defeats Duryodhana, Karna and all the Kauravas. He beats them up so badly in the war that Karna runs away from the battlefield. Panchala Sarabhinnangaha Bhayamasadya Vaivrushaha Karno Radhadavaplutya Palayana Parobhavat. Karna got scared by the arrows of Panchala king, so he got down from the chariot and ran away from the battlefield. Then Arjuna, along with Bhimasena, Nakula and Sahadeva, defeated Drupada and brought him to Drona. So after seeing the valor of Arjuna, he was the obvious choice of Drupada. Drupada's intention was to clearly identify Arjuna through the Swayamvara. He therefore built a tough challenge for the Swayamvaram. The only catch here was it wasn't tough enough not just for Arjuna but for Karna too. When Karna rose to hit the target, even the Pandavas disguised as Brahmanas believed that he would hit it. Then Draupadi rose up and stopped him, saying that she wouldn't marry a Sutaputra. Karna controlled his anger with a smile and resigned to his place. Now let's discuss why Draupadi would have said that. Keep the caste of Karna aside for a moment. Draupadi, since the time of her birth, was told all her life that she was born to marry Arjuna. Suddenly, she was told that Arjuna died and she has to marry someone else. But which sane woman would marry a man who killed the one she loved? Everybody knew that Lakshagriha was a conspiracy of Kauravas and Karna, being the best friend of Duryodhana, was a party to it. The man she wanted to marry might have died, but why would she marry his enemy? It's like asking a girl who loved an Indian soldier to marry a Pakistani soldier who killed that man. So Draupadi rejected Karna, but not his caste. That's not her character. Is it just my opinion? Definitely not. It was Karna's opinion too. In one instance, when Duryodhana proposes ways to cause differences between Draupadi and Pandavas, Karna says that Draupadi accepted them when they were begging on the streets before knowing that they were Pandavas. Why would she leave them now? This was Karna's exact statement. So Draupadi, a princess, chose beggars over a king like Karna. Would that be an arrogant woman? At least I don't think so. At the end of the day, it was Swayamvaram, a woman choosing the groom by her own will. A woman of such character was called names, and few despicable writers even justified Karna asking Dushasana to disrobe Draupadi in front of everyone because she called him a Suta. But that's for Mahabharata and we will discuss it later. So, in the entire Adiparva, Karna was publicly called Sutaputra twice. Apart from that, there were no hardships whatsoever. Don't assume Karna to be an orphan. He had a set of loving and caring parents, unlike Pandavas. Karna is a unique character. He is half god and half demon. While he has many traits to be appreciated for, he had many more to be criticized for. I too feel sad for Karna at times. He missed a mother like Kunti. While Kunti raised 5 sons who can see dharma in polyandry, the one she left turned out to be someone who once said, "Every woman dreams to have multiple husbands." ईप्सितश्च गुणः स्त्रीणाम् एकस्या बहुभर्तृता. So, next time when you want to sympathize with Karna, just because our favorite hero played his role, think twice. We have enough people attacking our Puranas and our history time and again. At least, let us not lionize characters like Ravana, Duryodhana and Karna without learning the true story. Finally, thank you for staying with me till now. Drop your love or hate respectfully in the comments below. I will reserve my opinions and interpretations till we complete Sabha Parva. Till then, I will be translating our history to you in its truest form. Thank you. Jai Shriman Narayana.